ladies and gentlemen, for clicking on this Smashy Smashy Eggman movie reviews and more video. So last week we talked about my all-time favorite movie, Gremlins 2, and the amount of Gremlins 2 stuff I have, because it's my favorite movie, and it was my 3-year anniversary. This week we're moving into the rest of December with Unconventional Christmas. That's why I don't have a bunch of Christmas crap all over the place, because it's unconventional time. We're going to talk about some great movies that have a Christmas theme, Christmas spirit behind them, or just take place at Christmas, that aren't really considered Christmas movies. Now, I know what you're thinking. Die Hard is definitely on that list. I am not talking about Die Hard. Die Hard and Christmas has been talked to death. So I'm going to focus on 3 different movies over the next 3 weeks that are unconventional Christmas movies. And to start with, I'm going to start with one of my favorites. And that is the Tim Burton classic, Batman Returns. This is the second film in the Batman film franchise, following Batman, made in 1989. This one still has Michael Keaton as the Dark Knight, with Danny DeVito as the Penguin, and Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman. Now, Unconventional Christmas, what's so unconventionally Christmas about this movie? Well, it takes place during Christmas. The movie actually ends on, I believe it's Christmas Eve, and it's just kind of there throughout the entire movie with the set, the look of it. They have the Christmas tree lighting in Gotham is a huge part of this movie. For me, I watch this one every year in the month of December, because to me this is a great Christmas film. And it ranks right up there with Die Hard as a great unconventional Christmas movie. So let's dig into this movie. What is Batman Returns? If you've never seen it before, I'm really sad, because this is actually a really good Batman film. So I guess before I dig into it, I'm going to talk a little bit about my experience with Batman Returns. Because I've been alive the entire time this movie's been out. This movie came out in 1992, I believe. I'm pretty confident it's 92. I had to use the VHS. Normally I stick with VHSs. It is 92. To use as my review prop if I have them, just because I kind of like the look of the VHS sitting on the table and whatever. But I actually had to go with the VHS because my Blu-ray came in a Batman set, and it's literally just the Batman logo on the case. So it's not even remotely interesting to look at, and I'm not 100% sure this tape isn't being slightly cut off by the camera, because my record indicator is literally, okay, no, it's not, alright. Technical! This is what you get here, unedited, unfiltered Martin. Alright, so my experience with it. So when I first watched it, I probably would have been 5 or 6. At the time this movie came out and I would have first watched it. And at that point in my life, I really didn't care that much for Batman Returns. I had seen it, and again, I loved Batman 89. The Jack Nicholson, Michael Keaton Batman movie. I love that movie. It is one of my top 100. I really enjoyed that film. And I actually, for a long time, liked Batman Forever more than Batman Returns. It wasn't until much more recently that I really started to love Batman Returns. Like, when I realized it was a Christmas movie and I started adding it to my yearly Christmas watching list, that's when I started to really love it and appreciate what this movie is. So for the longest time, I didn't like this Batman entry. It was the least watched Batman entry, and now it's the second most watched Batman entry. Maybe the first, depending, because I don't watch Batman 89 on a yearly basis, and I do watch this one on a yearly basis. But yeah, I love Batman Returns. It's a great movie. It really is. I remember having the 3D board game when I was a kid. And the weirdest action figure you'll ever find came from this movie, because they took the Penguin, and they used a Penguin from the 1980s Super Friends show, and the toy lines that came out with that. That was the Penguin they released, just painted black. So just a paint scheme. That's all they did. They painted it black, because the original had a blue coat, and a blue hat, so they painted the coat and the hat black, and they put that out as the Penguin for Batman Returns, because they thought if they made one that looked like Danny DeVito in this movie, it would scare children. And they were probably right. It would probably have scared children. It was just really weird buying a Batman Returns Penguin, and it looked nothing like the Penguin in the movie. And because I had an older brother who loved stuff like Challenge of the Super Friends, I knew that design right away. I knew that Penguin design when I first saw it, because I had seen it so many times. So it didn't fool me. But I didn't have a penguin, so I took the black penguin, because, I mean, I didn't have a penguin toy. I had a penguin toy. So, Batman Returns. What is this movie? What the crap is this movie? It opens with Alfred going Christmas shopping. He is buying presents. He has them wrapped because he went to a place that wrapped. I've never done that. I've never bought a present and then gotten it wrapped. I've always just wrapped presents myself. But I mean, I guess, you know, if you can, if you like that, other people doing it, sweet. Generally, I've seen this dance. Like, I know it's a real thing. But my only experience of buying presents and then not having to wrap them comes from, like, movies and TV shows. Because so many 90s TV shows had that cliche of the kid having to work at the Christmas wrapping stand over the holidays as a job and not knowing what the hell they were doing. So anyways, Alfred is buying presents when the Red Triangle gang shows up. They are a circus gang, so clowns, strongmen, circus peoples. They show up to terrorize Gotham. They are there to do a lot of things. It's also the Gotham tree lighting ceremony. Max Schreck, who is a huge businessman in Gotham, originally supposed to be Harvey Dent, who is the DA, and a lot of Max Schreck's story makes way more sense if it's being done by the DA, but whatever. Max Schreck is our third antagonist, played by the amazing Christopher Walken. He is giving a speech for the tree lighting ceremony, which he has forgotten in his office, and he's going to take it out on his secretary, Selina Kyle, who has found the speech and is now trying to take it to him. As the Red Triangle gang assaults Gotham, Batman shows up, saves Selina from one of the Red Triangle gang members who is going to zap her with a taser, and Selina takes the taser after awkwardly flirting with Batman. Eventually, we find out what the Red Triangle gang's real motive is to kidnap Max Schreck and take him to the Penguin, who lives in an old zoo enclosure of penguins, an old penguin zoo enclosure. Wow. I watched this movie so many times and I totally missed Paul Rubin's cameo, Pee-wee's cameo, at the beginning of the movie, as the movie actually opens with a baby being thrown into a river. How could I forget that the movie opens with a baby in a carriage being tossed into a river by its parents because it's deformed? Well, that's the Penguin. We all know that. But yeah, Penguin gets tossed into the river. Penguin has a plan, and he needs Max Schreck's help, because Schreck is a big wheeling dealer, and he needs Schreck's help to do his master plan. Schreck agrees only because otherwise Penguin is going to reveal a bunch of secrets that he's found out on Schreck, because everything you flush, everything you throw away, ends up in the sewers, and so Penguin has all of this dirt on Schreck. As that's going on, Selina Kyle is doing research for Max Schreck and a new power plant he wishes to build in Gotham, which will be his legacy. She eventually cracks a secret code that Max Schreck has for secured files and learns that the power plant is less of a power generating plant as more of a power storage plant, and brings this up to Max Schreck, who then promptly throws her out a window. Cats then show up to revive Selina, and she goes home, destroys her apartment, and makes her Catwoman costume. Because now she is the Catwoman. The next day, Max Schreck has a meeting with Bruce Wayne about the power plant. He doesn't have a secretary because she is away on a skiing trip. As far as Shrek is concerned, she's dead because he threw her out a window. Eventually, Selena does show up and is very flirtatious with Bruce. Very, like, I mean, it's that Catwoman, Batman mentality there, very flirty with each other. And Max's only statement about throwing her out a window the night before is, if she tells anything, he'll find a bigger window. Which is just a great line by itself, but then coming out of Christopher Walken's mouth, such an amazing line. We then get the mayor making a speech about the Red Triangle Gang and the war, and a member of the Red Triangle Gang steals the mayor's newborn child and jumps into the sewers, where nobody sees it, but he hands the baby off to the Penguin, who then arises as the great hero. The Penguin, knowing he is from a family, he was born, he has to have a birth certificate, that's all he wants to do. He wants to find out where he comes from, so he goes and he searches the records for his birth certificate, but that's not really what he's doing. He then goes and has a mournful moment at his parents' graves, as he learns his name was Oswald Chesterfield Cobblepot. Eventually, Max Schreck realizes that the mayor is in way more trouble than he should be about his power plant, and that he needs a new mayor. And the Penguin is very popular with the Gothamites. So he talks the Penguin into running for mayor in a recall election that will happen sometime in December. The Penguin agrees, putting his own plans off onto the side. At this point, Catwoman also tries to enlist Penguin and join up with him to take out Batman, because Batman is a thorn in both of their sides, stopping their plans. And eventually that all goes awry when they don't kill Batman and Penguin tries to kill Catwoman. As we move forward through this plot, Penguin eventually sets up Batman by kidnapping the Snowball Queen, who is part of the lighting ceremony. They're going to relight the Christmas tree, and she is killed with the help of Catwoman and a bunch of bats to frame Batman for it. But really, it's not about killing the Snowball Queen and framing Batman. It's about rigging the Batmobile so it can be remotely controlled. Penguin remotely controls the Batmobile, but Batman, being Batman and being smart enough to know something is up, sticks a CD in a CD drive that's in the Batmobile, because why the hell not, and records what Penguin is saying. Eventually, Batman is able to disarm the remote control and takes control of his own vehicle. The next day, the Penguin's giving his speech announcing his candidacy for mayor, and Batman overrides the signal and plays the audio of him basically calling Gotham a bunch of idiots. This, of course, enrages the people who are at his press conference, and the Penguin is throwing rotten fruit at him, which is then Danny DeVito delivering the great line, "Why is there always fruit at these things?" Which is it's a great line. It's an old trope, and it's a great line. It is a great line, delivered wonderfully by Danny DeVito. DeVito then decides he's done trying to survive in the human world. He's going back to his first plan, which is to lure all of the firstborn children of Gotham into his dungeon and drown them all in a pit of toxic waste provided by Max Schreck, dumping it in the sewers. That is his master plan. That is what he's doing. He sends his minions out to go collect the children, and Batman stops all of it. He saves the children, takes in the Red Triangle Gang, and Penguin is, again, left without a plan. Bruce Wayne then attends a costume ball at Max Schreck's annual Christmas ball, where he runs into Selena, where they both realize that they are in fact Batman and Catwoman, respectively. And although they're really into each other, they feel like, do we fight? Do we not fight? What do? We want a bone, but at the same time, you're a good guy, I'm a bad guy. What do we do here? Before they can resolve their issues, Penguin shows up to kidnap Max Schreck. Penguin then has a new plan, which is to put rockets onto his Penguin's back and have them go into the middle of Gotham and release the rockets, destroying Gotham. Again, Batman, of course, thwarts this plan by redirecting the Penguins back to Penguin's lair, where they have their final battle. Catwoman shows up to confront Max Schreck, and we get the climax of our movie. I really like this movie. It is such a good movie, and it's so well done. And it's such... I mean, I didn't even bring up Michael Keaton, who does a great job as Batman and Bruce Wayne in this movie. or Michelle Pfeiffer, who really does bring it in the Catwoman role. Like, it is such a good movie. And if you've never seen Batman Returns, check it out. It is it's an unconventional Christmas classic. Just because you do, Gotham looks the architecture of Gotham is so beautiful, and then you cover that in snow and put the Christmas decorations on it. It is just so visually beautiful. I'm not sure any Batman movie since Batman and Batman Returns has ever really caught Gotham as visually beautiful as these two movies did. Because it is true, Gotham is truly visibly beautiful in this movie. But it's a great Christmas classic. It's unconventional, again, because it's not about goodwill towards man and all of this stuff. I think the last line is "Merry Christmas, Sir," when Alfred driving Bruce Wayne away from him collecting one of a cat, which he believes might have been one of Selina's cats. So I think the last line is "Merry Christmas, Bruce," or Master Wayne. So it is. So it is a Christmas movie. It's just not a conventional Christmas movie, but it's a lot of fun. If you've never seen Batman Returns, check it out. Alright, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to not miss any more content. I've got 2 more unconventional Christmas movies coming at you this month, right here on Smashy Smashy Eggman, movie reviews and more. I will talk to you later. Have a good one.